I needed to go and take about a 15-20 minute break before recording this post-match reaction because my head just cannot get my head round how bad that performance was, how awful it was in every statistical metric, in every eye test metric. As a Manchester United fan, I've been so happy, so positive this international break, beating Liverpool. I had hope. And yes, we didn't lose, but we deserved to lose 5-1. This statistic here wasn't even the worst statistic I'm going to show you. 85 touches in Man United's box, most by a Premier League team in 3 seasons, just to show how much Brentford dominated us. But Brentford have lost 14 out of their last 18 games. Brentford are the worst form team in the league, worst team at home. Brentford had 4 key players in defence injured that probably would have started today. This is the 9th game in our last 11 games where we've conceded 20 plus shots, and in the other 2 games we conceded 17. Manchester United have now faced more shots in the Premier League than any other club. Manchester United conceded 31 shots today. What an absolute joke. And Brentford almost broke the record for most touches in opposition's box an entire match to show you how much they dominated us. Are you ready? Are you ready to see what I'm going to show you? Brentford had 85 touches in Manchester United's box today. This is only the 3rd time in PL history a club has had 80 or more touches in the opposition's box. 3rd time. And I did a big rant here to sum up my match thoughts. Couldn't break them down, so we kept taking shots from outside the box. XG of 3.11 to our 0.5 to show you that they probably deserve to win about 4-0 again. I mean, they had over 80 touches in our box, which turned out to be 85. We conceded 30 plus shots. We had no control. We were playing long balls. And we were playing long balls, but we weren't winning the long balls because they were superior to us in defence and attack. So we just couldn't win all the long balls. And then we weren't winning the second balls because we showed no intensity or fight to win back the ball. We were sluggish. We were slow on the ball. There was this time that Whistle was on the floor. Bruno had the ball. We had an opportunity because Brentford didn't have everyone back, tip them on the counter. And everyone was running really close to Bruno. Not running, jogging, fast, walking next to Bruno like statues. When we got the ball to do something, there was no movement. It was just embarrassing. The positive is I'm happy for Mount. The positive is Anana had a good game. McTominay invisible. How's he on the pitch for 90 minutes is an absolute disgrace. I've said this before. You guys were saying, no, Alisson, keep McTominay. I wouldn't say McTominay scored a few goals. McTominay is a super sub. You bring him on for the last 15 minutes to change the game if you need it. If not, that's it, because he's invisible. He adds nothing. He's an off-the-ball merchant. He doesn't do anything on the ball. He's not even doing anything off the ball today. McTominay is a super sub. You don't start him. He's not good enough. He's 27. We can get some money from him in the summer. Pure FFP forfeit. You looked at this squad. You looked at this performance today. You looked at the tactics. You looked at the lack of athleticism. We need investment this summer. I'm not keeping McTominay because he scores goals. 40 million. Adios. 1 year left on your contract. Yes, please. And I'm not going to go on McTominay because he wasn't the worst player today. Everyone was pretty bad. But I'm Ten Haging. I have been Ten Haging, and I will give Ten Hag to the end of the season. Let's go on full screen because. But what on earth? What on earth? We've conceded the most shots in the Premier League this season. Tactically, and now a lot of it is down to just players and the lack of effort from the players and not committing to the pressure from the players and the players not having the legs and the mobility, and Brentford full of way more energy than us out playing us. I understand that. But continually, we're open in midfield. How many times did Brentford today probably have the ball in or around their own box, played it out to the wing-back made another pass, and all of a sudden Tony's through and has a shot? How many times today? There must have been, I think there was about 6 occasions I counted, where it took Brentford about 3 passes to get from their box to our box and run into space in a couple of seconds. 3 passes. And we've conceded 31 shots today. How many times this season have teams just played through us like that? Made 3 passes through us like that, finding space out wide like that? That is a structural issue. That is a problem with our structure out of possession. It is awful. Our wrist defence is awful. And Ten Hag's not changed that. He's having the attack commit to the press, but not the fullbacks. And then the fullbacks are inverting. And all of a sudden, if teams play for our attack, all of a sudden, they've got loads of space. There is our attacker midfield pressing high. And then there's this big gaping hole. And then there's our defence with our fullbacks tapping in. And all of a sudden, there's loads of space on the flanks. And if Brentford had good wingers, what could have happened today? We could have been destroyed even more. The fact that they had 85 touches, we are lucky they scored 1 goal. We played better when we lost 7-0 to Liverpool. And that might sound crazy, but we did. Højlund, I don't think had a touch of the ball other than that one chance where he might have been offside. And the movement off the ball was terrible. And I see people moaning about Rashford. Was Rashford good today? No, Rashford was bad, but he was no worse than about 7 other players on the pitch. I see people moaning about Rashford. Got to sell Rashford, got to sell Rashford, got to sell Rashford. Yeah, maybe Enos might look at it and say maybe there's an opportunity to sell Rashford. I personally wouldn't sell him. I'd give him one more season because he's better than probably at least 10 players in the squad that we need to sell first. But I see people moaning about Rashford, and Rashford wasn't good today. I'm not making an excuse for Rashford. Rashford came off and didn't play those last 20 minutes. Did we get any better? No. I don't get this, it's all Rashford's fault. He's not taking Rashford off. Everyone's bad. It's not, if we get rid of Rashford and Bruno, we're going to be a good team. It's not even, if we get rid of McTominay, we're going to be a good team. And you know how I feel about McTominay. I want him gone. No, we are not a good team because we're missing about 5-6 profiles. We don't have players that athletically have the legs, and there's tactical issues. This whole moaning about Rashford and it's all Rashford's fault. It's not all Rashford's fault. It's not all Bruno's fault. It's not all McTominay's fault. We were not good today because everyone was poor bar Nana. Varane had a good game. He came off injured. And do you know what's mad? It's probably the one outfield player that was having a brilliant game today is the one we're going to let walk for free, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's not about one individual player. I think we should sell McTominay and get rid of him. But to be honest, if Casemiro had started and not McTominay, would we have played much better? Probably not. Would it have been a similar outcome? Yes, because the tactics need to change. We need about 5 new positions. We need about 2 midfielders. We need about 2 centre-backs. We need another winger. We need a backup striker. The team is knackered. The team is knackered. And I just have to say I'm disappointed because Liverpool gave us this boost. Liverpool gave us this excitement. The play was awful. The style of football was criminal. It felt like I was being punished watching that. The style of football was criminal. The domination of Brentford was embarrassing. We've conceded 106 shots in the 4 games we played in March. We played 4 games in March and 106 shots. That's 26 and a half shots a game we're conceding in March. That is relegation form. We're lucky that we have some quality players that Garnacho at times, Højlund at times, Maino at times, even Bruno at times this season have produced to get us out of that. We don't deserve Champions League. We don't even deserve Europa League, but we've got the quality to get there. I want Tenal to stay and do well, and I want Tenal to be given time with proper recruitment, proper structure. But the issues are there, and he needs to fix them. And Ethan Talk said this on Twitter. He said, someone on Twitter like me, you, and pretty much everyone watching United can see our issues out of possession. If we can see how the pressing scheme enables wide players to be the spare man, the coaching staff certainly will be able to see it. Why do they not change it, especially 29 games in, when they've had issues that have been present all season, is beyond my rationale. Not to mention how we're getting dominated in second, loose balls, aerial, physically, athletically, totally inferior. Again, how do we not anticipate these types of battles away to Brentford? It's baffling. And that's the worrying thing. Surely the coaches see what we're seeing. Surely the coaches see what we're seeing. That structurally we're bad, out of possession we're bad, but also athletically inferior. We're not winning any of the loose balls. We're not winning any of the second balls. We're not going in for the second balls. We're physically getting pushed off. We're athletically getting run around the park. How are we not seeing this? The positional play, the on-the-ball balance, the press was shocking. The right wing was vacant that game. 3 passes and Brentford are in. No intensity, not winning duels, not chasing second balls. Build-up was shocking, had to keep going long. We've brought a goalkeeper that's good in build-up in Onana, and he keeps going long. We've brought a specialist in build-up. Martin has looked injured when he came on. He didn't look good. We can't catch a break. And every time we got the ball, we just knew we were going to give it away. And when we gave it away, it took Brentford 3 passes and they're through. How many times has it been 3-pass sequence and Brentford have gone through our entire team and basically through on goal? You could basically, I think a turtle could walk through Manchester United, a tortoise, whatever they're called. Shocking. I love Man United. I like Eric Ten Hag. I want Eric Ten Hag to succeed. And it's not totally his fault. Some of the players aren't good enough. I still back Eric Ten Hag. I'm still Eric Ten Hag in. But we're regressing. His philosophy and tactics are not changing. The high press is easily bypassed and we're sticking with it. The rest defence is the worst in the league. The deep block invites shots. There's no vertical anything. Low quality chance creation. Are we creating chances? We had to keep shooting from long because we couldn't break them down. There's been injuries, there's been issues, but Brentford had injuries today. We had most of the squad back and we are totally outplayed. Totally outplayed. And people will say, if we change Bruno, if we change Rashford, we'll get worse if we change Bruno and Rashford. They're not good, but they're not good because the structure isn't good, the system isn't good. It's not, we're going to drop Rashford and we're going to become a good team. Rashford's been crap. Yeah, Rashford was crap. Were we better when Rashford got subbed off? No. If we'd have subbed Bruno or Ferguson, we wouldn't have got any better. It's bad. We're bad. It's not one individual player. Ten Hag needs to improve, but it's not totally his fault. It's a collective of multiple people. There's one common denominator, and there's one person to blame for this, and that is the Glazers. The neglect from this club at the top, the poor structure, the poor recruitment, the poor planning has led to this. Part of it is Ten Hag's fault. Part of it is the players. But that ultimately comes down to the fools, the clowns at the top of our club. Maybe Ineos will change that. Maybe Ratcliffe will change that. But that game was an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace. And the fact that we actually somehow almost won that game 1-0 was amazing. And then we bottled it right away. Varane was good. Onana was good. I'm happy for Mason Mount. I mean, the rest of it was crap. I'm not going to go and just do a big rant about McTominay or do a big rant about this player or that player. They're all bad. And the energy levels were shocking.